Well, good afternoon and welcome to Odsal Stadium for this history-breaking afternoon. A famous rivalry will be reignited with the Bradford Bulls and Leeds Rhinos taking centre stage as the Women's Super League season gets underway. The Bulls, the Super League and Challenge Cup winners in 2017, will welcome old rivals Leeds to Odsal Stadium. That game will be kicking off at 3:45. 3:45. In the meantime, our attention will start with John Keir's side, looking to bounce back after suffering their first defeat of the season against Workington Town on Sunday. Can the Bulls get back on track this afternoon against the Coventry Bears? It's second place against 12th. And it's live on Bulls Live and Proper Sport. The Bradford Bulls this afternoon will line up Brandon Pickersgill at fullback, Dalton Grant, Ashley Gibson, Jai Hitchcock and Ethan Ryan, the wing three-quarter line, Joe Keys and Dane Chisholm in the halves. It's a return for Liam Kirk and Vila Halafihi. They'll be joined by Steve Crossley, James Laithwaite, Liam Johnson and George Milton in the front row forwards, and on the interchange bench Sam Hallas, George Flanagan, Callum Bustin and Elliot Minchella. The referee, dressed in black, is Billy Pearson. He puts whistle to lips. We're up and running here at Odsal Stadium, and it was a nervy start there from Tom Sang's Coventry Bears side. The prop forward Joel Thomas appearing to juggle the ball in his own in-goal area. The referee says it come off the boot and he recovered the ball cleanly, and we have game on here. Bradford in their home strip of red, amber and black, Coventry in their away jerseys of light and navy blue. They will be playing towards the Ruler Lane Terrace from right to left in this first half, and as we said, League One has thrown up some classic matches already in 2018. Will this be another? Paul Emanuele out of dummy half on the last tackle, straight down the throat there of Ethan Ryan. We've had exactly a minute gone on the clock. It's Bulls Live, Proper Sport, and Ethan Ryan will take the first tackle of the afternoon for the Bradford Bulls, 15 shy of the halfway line. Brandon Pickersgill in at fullback, Greg McNally still out with a quad injury. It remains to be seen if Greg McNally will be fit and will recover in time for next Saturday's Challenge Cup game against the Warrington Wolves. Dalton Grant on the third tackle, first penalty of the afternoon from referee Billy Pearson. He's going to penalise the Coventry Bears. Second row forward, Kieran Sherritt for laying on in the tackle. At Bradford, they will have a repeat set of 6, and Joe Keys is going to find touch. 35 out away from the Coventry line, and the crowd still descending in here at Odsal Stadium. A couple of late comers. Don't forget, we're live on Proper Sport, Bulls Live. Keep your comments coming on, and we'll certainly go through those throughout the course of the afternoon. It's going to go across the face of the post from Keys to Chisholm. Chisholm will serve a one-game ban next weekend, wrapped up just inside the Coventry 20. It's going to go from Halafihi to the Bradford skipper for this afternoon, Steve Crossley. And Crossley's brought down in a two-man tackle, just 10 metres to the left-hand side of the post. 5 metres out, Chisholm to Kirk. James Laithwaite on debut over on that left-hand edge. He's brought down 2 shy. Back now it goes with Chisholm on the diagonal, headed towards the post. It's Liam Kirk. Last tackle, says the referee. Quick play the ball from Kirk. Halafihi to Keys. Keys to Johnson. Johnson's going to open the scoring for the Bradford Bulls. Joe Keys peppered one behind the Coventry Bears defensive line. We've had 2 minutes on the clock, and that's just the start the Bulls wanted, Ross Peltier. 4-0 to the Bulls.
Yeah, you know, it was a great start. Good kick-off. We kept them, made them kick out of their 40. Ethan gathered it, you know, on the full, and then we just built pressure from there, you know. Nice little kick from Keysy. Jono always on end of him, but yeah, great start back, boys.
Liam Johnson's 5th try in the red, amber and black. Let's not forget, he's only on a loan season from the Huddersfield Giants along with Mikey Wood, but he's really acclimatised himself to Odsal and the Bradford Bulls, and he's making a big impact, Ross, it's got to be said.
Yeah, he's had a good impact as Jono, you know. Him and Mikey both doing very well for the club, you know. He's come off a bench, he's made impact. When he starts, he makes an impact, yeah. He's looking like a very good player, you know, and I'm glad we've got him for a year.
Joe Keys will attempt the conversion. 10 metres in from the popular stand side. Keys has kicked 40 from 50 attempts. 4 from 4 last weekend. He's kicking at 80% in 2018. And Keys looking at the ball, looking at the post. This to give the Bulls an early 6-0 lead. He's going to strike the post. It's hit the upright. It's bounced away. And he goes out to naught from 1 attempt. And it remains Bradford Bulls 4, Coventry Bears 0 in this Betfred League One encounter on Bulls Live and Proper Sport. John Keys, great start from the Bradford Bulls.
Yeah, really good start that. Unfortunately, the kick striking the post, but if you looked at the first set from Coventry, they struggled to get out. I think they kicked early, a good return from Ethan, a quick penalty, and then we're down the end and scored. I agree with Ross. I think the two lads from Huddersfield are a real bonus for us this year, and know how to play, you know, at this level. And also, Jono, you know, playing for nearly 80 minutes every week, which is great.
The restart will be taken by Ashley Gibson on his return to action, rested last week. How the Bulls could have done with his guile and experience in that tough, fiery Derwent Park cauldron. Dalton Grant on tackle number 2. He's doing all right as well, Dalton Grant. 5 tries under John Keir after the move from the Broncos. And on tackle number 3, it will be George Milton up to the Bradford 30, centre of the field. Halafihi to Chisholm. Chisholm now to the 24-year-old Toronto Wolfpack dual reg loanee, James Layfrit, wearing 36 this afternoon, brought down on the Bradford 40. 4th tackle gone. Crossley carrying the Bulls up and over halfway. Last tackle, they've extinguished their set of 6. 5 inside the Coventry half. Halafihi to Chisholm. Chisholm's going to go to the sky. It's going to come down for Jason Bass on his own 5, and the Bears fullback is immediately going to be tackled over on that left-hand side by Ethan Ryan and James Layfrit in a 2-man tackle. We've had 5 minutes gone here. Bulls Live, Proper Sport. Don't forget the Women's Super League opener between the Bradford Bulls and the Leeds Rhinos at 3:45. Both games live and free this afternoon. And immediately you almost sense that Coventry really struggling to get a little bit of momentum, a bit of go forward, but that penalty's going to help them, Ross.
Yeah, you know, we want to keep penalties down to a minimum. We'll be disappointed on that because it was a great set defensively. You know, we'll just give him a leg out now. Steady's got a good boat on him, so they might take this up to about halfway.
Reece Smith, a latecomer, says, is Jai Hitchcock's playing? Yes, he is. He's playing right centre inside Ethan Ryan, wearing 35. Jai Hitchcock's, of course, he has the Proper Sports Show, which I believe is moving to Wednesdays, 6 till 8. So any Bradford Bulls supporters watching and listening on, I'm sure there's going to be some great Bradford Bulls content with Jai Hitchcock's there on Wednesday evening, telling the listeners and viewers how his first week at Odsal has gone. Will it, hopefully, from a Bradford point of view, result in a Bulls win? Coventry 10 inside the Bradford half. Neat little hands there between Emanuele and Stead. It's going to see Thomas brought down to that left of centre field position. In at dummy half is going to go Zach Williams. And Williams decides to go down the left-hand edge with a second row forward. Kieran Sherratt. Sherratt's managed to offload the ball back to Williams, and Williams is wrapped up on tackle number 4. 15 out from the Bradford line. It's going to go out of dummy half from Stead. Stead along the line to Emanuele. Emanuele's going to find Bass. Bass has seen the ball come off a Bradford body, and it is back to 1. So Coventry, they've got a full set of 6 now, 15 out from the Bradford line, and they're going to ask tough questions of the Bulls' defence early doors. Here goes the prop forward, Chris Vitellini, and Chris Vitellini of Welsh heritage is brought down 10 out from the line. They're going to move the ball over with Dante Morley-Samuels. Dante's lost the ball, and Vila Halafihi recovers possession for the Bradford Bulls. And Ross, got to be said, you said pre-match you want to keep that big fat 0 on Coventry's score name on the scoreboard, and that was defence well done thus far.
Yeah, but defence well done, you know. It shows how penalties can get you back up, because, you know, we give a penalty away there, and then, you know, they were halfway through a set on our 10 and they got it back to 1. Luckily the boys held out, you know. Now we've got a penalty, so yeah, as long as we stay strong, I reckon I'm confident the boys can keep them out today.
Claire Downs says, come on you Bulls. Robert Charlton, good luck Bradford Bulls, from a Leeds Rhinos fan. Steve Kavanagh Great offload there from Coventry. Simon Thompson, come on, you Bulls from Walsall. Let us know where you're watching from this afternoon. It's always interesting to gauge the scope. Bradford, though, awarded their third penalty of the afternoon, and the 10 inside the Coventry half. Alafei to Keys. Keys with a half break. Taken down there on the ankle. But Alafei goes purring, finds Laythwaite. Laythwaite offloads the ball, looking for Pickersgill. But there was a bit of miscommunication there, and the pass has been picked off, and back will come the Coventry Bears, albeit 20 out from their own try line. So they're in centre of the field now. Liam Johnson and Liam Kirk in that two-man tackle. Zach Williams, good distribution out of dummy half. He's going to find Kieran Skerritt, and Kieran Skerritt's going to be brought down just shy of the Coventry 40, and that's Gibbo, Ashley Gibson and Liam Johnson there, bringing down Skerritt once again. Zach Williams out of dummy half, makes 10 metres up to halfway, 5 in from our Coventry position side as the kick's going to come in from Emanuele. It's caught a little bit of the wind, it's going to have a bit of a reverb, bounce, picked up by Crossley, and Crossley does what Steve Crossley does. He absorbs the punishment and the pain of 2 Coventry defenders and takes Bradford 5 inside the Bears half, and it's quick hands to Laythwaite over on that left-hand edge. He's brought down 35 out. Halafehi to Milton. Milton fronts up. 4-man tackle there, George Milton, twisting and turning. Bradford 20 out from the Bears line. 10 minutes gone, they lead 4-0. Halafehi to Chisholm, Chisholm to Keys, Keys to Pickersgill. They've opened up the balls. Pickersgill will send Ashley Gibson in at the corner. Dante Morley-Samuels tried in vain, but Ashley Gibson, too much experience there, Ross.
Yeah, I think it all come from boys just, playing simple. And it's good, the chances are going to come, but that offload again, it shows we don't have to throw every ball and we don't have to score for every play. And when we take us time, chances will open up like yesterday, and Gibbo finished it. So yeah, another good try for us.
11 minutes gone. Ash Gibson, his 4th try of season 2018, and that incidentally is Bradford's 60th try of the John Keir era. For this bring you in, John, Joe Keys, 80%. He won't be happy with that stat.
No, I know John said earlier in the year, didn't he, after I think it was the cup game, that 80% is what a kicker's got to get. The way these tries are going in wide today, I can see that coming down a little bit, if I'm honest. He's a foot from the touchline here and 25 metres out, but it's someone he's keen. I think he's working on it quite a bit of training as well. And for me, I think I've said it in previous commentaries, if you're going to get out of this league, these 2 points are going to make all the difference at the end of the season.
Dave Lunt says, I've never seen Gibbo move so fast. Mark Clare, watching in Newport. Nigel Grant, I'm also watching from Wales. The Grant family, hopefully, going to see Dalton get on the score sheet this afternoon, while Andrew Tame, watching with my 4-year-old girl Sophia in Holmfirth, recovering after a 5-year-old's birthday party. Well, we know how exciting kids can be. Keys, radar on point, over the red, amber and black dogs. And I think he's just heard some words of wisdom from his dad in the background. Great kick there, John.
Yeah, it's about time he got his head on that lad. Great conversion. But as I said, you know what? We laugh about it. But I've been saying to Joe since he was 14, conversions and penalties do make all the difference in these games. So great for him to get on the board. And to me, I just said to Ross there, what Bradford are doing, of course, they're attacking, and the Coventry defence isn't that set, and the experience at Bradford have got in the back. See quite a few tries running today.
Brian Clarkson says, great start from the Bulls, watching from Dunoon in Scotland. Tim Beasley watching in Guernsey. Bradford Bulls 10, Coventry Bears 0 on Bulls Live and Proper Sport here at Odsal Stadium, at Bradford immediately on their own 20. Out of dummy half from Halafehi to Grant. Grant's going to be wrapped up on tackle number 2. 25 shy of the halfway line as Bradford move the ball with Chisholm. Chisholm to Crossley. Third tackle gone. 15 shy of halfway. Bradford still inside their own half as Chisholm tries to show and go. A short little pass there, crisp as you like, into the breadbasket of James Laithwaite. Fourth tackle gone. They're on the halfway line. Milton is going to carry the Bulls up to the Coventry Bears 45-metre line. On the fifth and last, just to the left of centre field. Halafihi to Chisholm. Chisholm's going to go high and long, looking to put the winger over on the fast hand side under pressure. The bounce of the ball is going to see a potential try for Ethan Ryan. The touch judge is saying it was good. The referee now is going to stop the clock and have a look, but the referee's going to say it's already gone dead. And the touch judge was saying it was a try. Oh my word. We'll have to see that one back on the replay. But the referee overruling the touch judge, Ross.
Yeah, you know, we've had some calls this year, but it's strange to overrule your touch judge who was stood about a yard away from where the kick landed, you know, and that's disheartening for boys. Should have been another 4 points, I reckon.
I've just watched it on the Facebook Live replay because the feed on the laptop is 15 seconds behind the action, and that has bounced in the in-goal area, and Ethan Ryan has been denied a perfectly good try. It remains though Bulls 10, Bears 0. Coventry awarded their second penalty, and that will infuriate the Bulls faithful below our commentary position. But the Bulls out there on the field, they've got to play to the whistle and not let any perceived injustice affect their mindset or game plan. Coventry 40 away from the Bradford line. Once again, it is going to be Emanuele linking there with Thomas, and Bradford defending like tigers in ones and twos. Laithwaite and Halafihi there in that two-man tackle. It's going to go to Emanuele. Emanuele's going to find Morley Samuels, and Morley Samuels is going to be brought down around about the Bradford 35. Loose forward this afternoon, Benjamin Gray gets a little kick in. It's going to turn Brandon Pickersgill around. Pickersgill has got a job on, and Pickersgill's going to be trapped in goal. And the referee's going to say goal line dropout. So, Ross, we've seen Coventry, despite an early 10-0 deficit, they're firing.
Well, yeah, I've played them before, you know, these boys coming to Odsal is going to be a big occasion. But, you know, like I said, Ben Stead again with boot, nice delicate kick. I think that's what we've got to be worried about. You know, these have got two good kickers. I reckon Coventry are going to play low risk, get to the kicks, and hopefully just fight for field position.
Well, the supporters just putting a bit of pressure on the official, showing a bit of displeasure at the decisions, but Coventry, a well-deserved repeat set of 6, and this will ask questions of that Bulls defence. Bulls Live proper sport. We've had 17 minutes gone, and it is Bradford 10, Coventry 0. Early tries from Johnson and Gibson. Keys 1 from 2 attempts. Bass looks to float the ball out wide to Harry Chapman, and that ball has been knocked on, head and feet to the Bulls. The danger averted there, and I think it's credit, John, to Coventry that they've not just come here to roll over. You know, they're really taking the game to the Bulls, and that'll please head coach Tom Sang.
Yeah, as Ross said, you know, they've got a couple of good halves here, and these lads know how to play the game. I don't think there's any easy games in this league. And what concerns me a little bit is about these things, as you just said, Mick, that what the Bulls have got to do is just keep their heads on. It don't matter how much possession Coventry had, we've just got to defend the sets and do what we've been trained to do and practiced all week, and if we do that, then I think we'll run a few tries in.
Helen Loftus prefer Mick and Ross and John's commentary to all the good money working and wasted on Sky Sports. Thank you very much, Helen. It is Bradford 10, Coventry 0. Bradford are just going to move the ball from the scrum via Johnson on the first tackle. Halafihi attacks the marker defence, makes 10 metres forward, 5 shy of halfway. Quick, play the ball, and the referee, Billy Pearson, is going to say Vila Halafihi, in his haste to play the ball, has knocked it on, and that will be Bradford's second error of the afternoon. Approaching the quarter mark in this game, Ross, and a little error there from Vila. Could have been a penalty.
Yeah, I know. I reckon John won't be happy at all with this. You know, we spoke about cutting the silly errors out, cutting the penalties out. And, you know, it's 10-0, and we're giving Coventry a bit of hope. You know, we're giving them a little foot in the game. We're giving them some territory. And that's what we need to not be doing. You know, we're getting the quick break balls on, but you know, we've had too many errors playing ball this year, and I think we need to cut it out.
Well, Coventry Bears form coming into this match, quite a bit of a mixed bag. They've lost the last two in the league against Whitehaven last weekend and Newcastle by 44-12 and 32-18, but they did go on a winning run which started with a 42-12 victory against Distillington in the Challenge Cup before their sole League One victory of 2018 away at Hemel. They then had a bit of a topsy-turvy game, a bit of a fright to be honest, but they did navigate past Pilkington Rex by 31 points to 20, and referee Billy Pearson just holding up play here, allowing the Coventry Bears player to get a little bit of attention from the physio, but Coventry play back underway, and of course because Coventry navigated that fixture against Pilkington Rex, they will be away to the Widnes Vikings next weekend, so a great tie in the making there. Gary Adams watching from Dubai. Keith Hall, come on you balls. Coventry out of sync over on that right-hand edge, but the ball's gone backwards and it's scrambled into the arms there by Harry Chapman. Chapman's going to play the ball. Williams in at dummy half's going to find Joel Thomas on that right-hand edge, and there's two tackles remaining here for the Coventry Bears. 30 out from the Bradford line as Emanuele links with Stead, and Coventry wrapped up there. Halafihi going for the legs. James Laythwaite like a tackling machine already, and it is the last tackle now as the kick's going to come in from Bedstead, formerly of the Keighley Cougars, and Ethan Ryan on that fast-hand side is going to be brought down. 5 out from his own try line, so Bradford back in possession of the ball deep inside their own half. Ross, you played with Bedstead once upon a time, and as you keep saying, they do have this competitive element, although Ashley Gibson goes on a mazy run around.
Yeah, you know, Steady's one of them lads. He's always been competitive. I think he's wanted to prove himself after not getting much of a run at Keighley, but you know, he's got a great kicking game. They're creating the right numbers on the edge. You know, it's just that execution for them, but you know, our defence is doing well as well.
Here we go, Gary Boucher. You can't get better commentary than Ross, the player, John Keys, the player's dad, and Mick Gledhill, the best rugby league commentator, and it's all free. Big shout out to Proper Sport. Gibson, 20 out from the Coventry line, kicks for himself, and Jason Bass trapped dead in goal by Keys and Chisholm. The Bulls have reignited, and it is their first goal line dropout, and a repeat set of 6, Ross, coming up.
Yeah, it was a good set, you know, Gibbo putting kicking, and this is all we need to build pressure, and the game will come to us.
I think as well, you know, just watching this game, and while Vila's getting up quick to play the ball after a tackle, Bradford don't need to do that. It's great that we can run over this team if possible, but to me, cut the errors out, respect possession, and the points are going to come anyway. I think that's what we need to focus on.
Coventry player just making sure his laces are tied. Referee Billy Pearson from Wakefield didn't stop the clock. Joe Keys watches the ball bounce twice, gives it there to 21-year-old Liam Kirk. Broke his nose in a famous reserve victory for the Bulls against Wigan. That one was at Dudley Hill on a cold Thursday night. Led by example that evening did Captain Kirk. Crossley, the skipper, this afternoon, and he's brought down just outside the Bears 20. Milton, Chisholm on the diagonal, and it is going to be a try on debut for Jai Hitchcocks, the boy from Mullumbimby, New South Wales, gets his Bulls account up and running. He ghosts in underneath the sticks, 14 points to 0.
A great try, but going back to what I said 2 minutes ago, that's all we've got to do this afternoon. We just keep completing. You know, as Ross had said already, I think John will be disappointed with the penalties and errors already. So for the next 20 minutes, I think we need to try and get through error-free.
Yeah, I think John will have a few strong words for lads for some of the errors, you know. We just need to slow down playing ball and cut the penalties out, you know, stop giving them territory. We'll just suffocate them to death, I reckon.
Jockeys will attempt the conversion from in front. Steve Kavanagh says crash ball. Nick Lockyer, look forward, but great line speed and great pace. Jai Hitchcocks gets his Bulls account up and running. Bob Mays and the Bulls gunmen says lovely try. And Susan Bethnell says get in there. Keys then trying to boost that 80% kicking accuracy in 2018. Oh, I think he's about 82. This will take him to 84%. 2 from 3 attempts. Bulls Live proper sport. Bradford Bulls 16. Coventry Bears 0. And Ross, while you're out there on the field, Michael Piper, Aaron Scholes, they're all running on with the messages. What do you reckon John Keir's getting the message out to the players?
Just tell us, keep doing what we're doing, cut the mistakes out, cut the penalties out, and just keep playing like we're playing, you know. We're going to create chances all day. We just need to not give these lot a sniff at all.
Well, one of the questions that came in for you, Ross, was what's your favourite home and away ground? Not Odsal.
Not Odsal. I'm not sure really. I always love playing at Odsal. It's always good to play at Cougar Park. You know, I've had some good games there, and we had a good game against them. So that's probably one of my favourite grounds as well for memories.
Dalton Grant comes up with a rare error on the restart, and that will be pleasing head coach John Keir. Bradford with a third error. And Coventry, they'll fancy the chances of posting some points here. 10 metres out from the Bradford line. Just over the 20-minute mark here, so quarter of the game gone. Paul Emanuele takes the ball in. Zach Williams out. Williams is going to find Bass. Bass wrestled there by Hitchcocks and Ryan on that right-hand edge, and they're going to reverse the ball and come back down the middle channel with James Gertchens. And Gertchens, another former Welsh international, is wrapped up just shy of the Bradford line. Good depth here from the Bears. There's a neat little layoff from Emanuele. We'll see Sherratt, and Sherratt's going to be brought down just 8 shy of the line on the 4th. It goes once again to Stead. Stead's wrapped up. 7 away on tackle number 4. Williams out of dummy half. To Emanuele, back it goes down the middle. Benjamin Gray, and Gray's wrapped up on the 5th and last tackle, centre of the field. Good defence from the Bradford Bulls. Stead puts one behind. They've let it bounce. It was an air shot. No one touched it. Tap on the 20. And Ethan Ryan fancies his chances here. He's herring away. He's going to tap it on the 20. Looks for support. He had Pickersgill and Hitchcocks. Decided to take the tackle himself on the Bradford 30, 20 shy of halfway. Halafihi is just going to go down the middle with Milton. Bradford calming things down here. A couple of Leeds Rhino supporters just walking past the gantry. So they're here for the Women's Super League opener. That, of course, at 3:45 this afternoon on Bulls Live and Proper Sport. Johnson, who opened the try scoring for the Bulls in the 2nd minute, carries Bradford just shy of the halfway line. 4th tackle gone now as it goes out to Kirk. Kirk quick play the ball. Halafihi to Crossley. Crossley down the middle, a big destructive force. And the referee will say that is the 4th tackle. Could have been a penalty, non-forthcoming. Halafihi towards the main stand side. Chisholm kicking to Keys. Keys, can he get there? Joe Keys has got the ball down. The referee will stop the clock and he will say knock on, Willie. Joe Keys gets up a little bit gingerly. This time the referee is about to point the finger and the touch judge will stand his ground. That was a great kick there from Chisholm to Keys. He's going to say Keys has knocked it on in goal. It wasn't grounded cleanly and the chance has gone begging. 15 minutes to half time. Bulls Live Proper Sport. Bradford Bulls 16. Coventry Bears 0.
Yeah, you know, it was a tough kick to ground there for Keys. You know, it took a big bang on the head. It took a big bounce. But, you know, it was a great kick, but unluckily it went over the line. I don't think John will be too happy about 7 tackles set now, though.
Just watch a replay, and Joe Keys did bounce the ball, so the correct decision. But the referee, Billy Pearson, was all ready to award the try. The touch judge on the far main stand side stood his ground and called him over, and the correct decision has been reached. So, Coventry on the 7 tackle set, up to halfway. Emanuele puts boot to ball, he's skied it. Once again, Dalton Grant lets it bounce. Pickersgill slipped. Emanuele recovers, looking for support. Finds the second row forward. If they get it out wide, they're in. And they're going to score into the corner. Eye-catching try from the Coventry Bears. Harry Chapman, 16 points to 4.
You know, like we said, giving them field position, you know, we've given them a 7 tackle set. You know, we said they've got 2 good kickers. I think he was unlucky for pick. You know, he slipped. So ball's gone over his head on the bounce. It's a scrappy try to concede. But these are the kind of tries that teams are going to be looking for in this level. So, you know, feel for boys, I feel for pick for that slip.
3 tries to 1. Ben Steed will attempt the...
I've known Steady a long time, you know, he's a good lad, and he didn't play, he's been in Croatia for the last few weeks, so he didn't come up on his review, you know, I've been a good kicker, but I know he can slot him from anywhere, so he won't mind where they score from because he's got a boot on him, but great kick-off from us there.
Bradford will force the restart, the goal line dropout. Coventry just at 6s and 7s. The great Australian and well-respected journalist Steve Mascord is watching. Perhaps, Steve, you could actually do an article about the future of live streaming and rugby league. Lenny Smith says the Bulls are trying too hard. Daniel Newman, what's happening to the live feed? Well, we're still here.
Back on.
And Ashley Louise Allen says the Bulls need to play simple rugby league. Keep it simple. Well, Hallis and Busting have just been brought on the field, and Busting, a try this season, making huge meters every game, is brought down on tackle number 1, and now comes the cavalry as Crossley takes 3 Bears defenders, 15 out from the Coventry line. Busting to Chisholm. Chisholm floats it out wide. And that was a bit of a risky pass. It's picked up there by Hitchcock. Hitchcock's come back in the field, down the middle with Hallis, and Hallis is going to be brought down in a bit of a wrestle tackle underneath the sticks. Centre of the field, 15 out. Halafi'i to Keys. Keys back on the inside to Pickersgill. Pickersgill to Hallis. Hallis to Chisholm. Chisholm with a show and go. Chisholm's brought down shy of the line, and it's a 5th error of the afternoon for the Bradford Bulls. 16 points to 6. Do you reckon the early kickoff's accountable for a bit of this lethargy? Because yeah, I think John Keir won't be happy, Ross. I mean, you'll be safe, you're up here, but you won't be getting the hairdryer treatment.
I got my fair share of that hairdryer treatment for my knock-on in working in the last 5. So, but yeah, I don't think it's the early kickoff. I think, you know, players playing early won't affect you. It's the later you play, I think it affects my mind state. But, you know, again, another error, but we just need to keep it simple, keep ball and build pressure.
Brian Clarkson says Steve Crossley having a wow of a game. Don't forget, we'll keep you up to date with the latest scores between Doncaster, Hemel, Hunslet, Workington, North Wales, Newcastle, Oldham, Keighley, Whitehaven, West Wales, and York against London Scholars at Bootham Crescent throughout the afternoon. We're on air until at least 5:30 because not only have we got Betfred League 1 action here right now, live and free on Proper Sports and Bulls Live. We've also got the start to the Women's Super League season. The defending champions, the double winners, the Bradford Bulls women's side, who defeated Featherstone in both the Challenge Cup and Super League Grand Finals. That gets underway at 3:45, and it's interesting. A few supporters still making their way in, so perhaps a lot of people didn't realise it was an early kick-off. But Coventry, they've come up with their 4th error, and Bradford have a scrum, 20 out from the line, and immediately Pickersgill goes straight down the throat on the right-hand edge. Quick play the ball. Halafi'i takes a tumble and a stumble, and it's brought down 5 out from the Coventry line. The Bulls purring. They can sense a 4th try. Keys to Chisholm. Chisholm to Laithwaite. Laithwaite coughs the ball under a big collision there from Cam Pierce-Paul. No advantage. They'll go back to the 10. Scrum, head and feet to Coventry. And with 9 minutes to go to half-time, it is still Bradford 16, Coventry 6. And Tom Sang potentially could smell a shock on the cards, Ross.
Well, I think if John had any hair, he'd be pulling it out right now with the mistakes we've been coughing up. But, you know, we've had players doing big minutes. You know, Steve done 30 minutes. George Flanagan's coming on now. Hopefully he'll bring some injection of pace. But yeah, just mistakes again, been killing ourselves.
David Dewhurst says, watching from Coventry, great performance from the Bears boys. Gutted I can't be here. And it's got to be said, David, Coventry really making things difficult for the Bulls, although the Bulls have been the architects of their own downfall on a couple of occasions with a couple of silly errors, as Coventry are going to be trapped just outside the 20. Chisholm and Laithwaite in a two-man tackle. It's going to be the kick there from Ben Steed. Steed once again finds Grant, and here goes Dalton Grant. Thought about taking the ball along the line laterally to Pickersgill, but he'll take the tackle. Here comes George Flanagan, 31 years of age. He'll add a bit of experience and a bit of leadership out there on the field, and he immediately marshals Sam Hallis to take the ball, and Hallis is going to be wrapped up 15 metres inside the Coventry Bears half, just to the right of centre field. Flanagan to Keys. Keys goes through a gap. Here goes Joe Keys. Pass on the inside to Flanagan, but he's rappelled up in a try-saving tackle. Quick play the ball. There's no one at home, and George Flanagan will ghost past Hayden Freeman and Jason Bass, and it is a fourth try for the Bradford Bulls. 20 points to 6, 7 minutes to go to half-time. Ross Peltier.
Yeah, it's the classic George show and go, you know. I've been victim to it a few times, but, you know, like John Keys was saying, any time we come to this right edge, we look like we're getting some joy. So I think we just need to work this right side of the field over.
We've just seen the impacts, John, of George Flanagan, but we've also seen what Joe Keys can do. He was with a line break, and he cut through that Coventry Bears defence.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I said to Ross just now, I think he just mentioned it, we're coming down this side and having quite a bit of joy. I just think on the left edge, I just think we're trying to make too many big passes that we don't need to. Just keep going through the process. It's interesting. George has come on immediately. We've gone a short side and got a try, which to me is the impact that lad has when he comes on the field.
Joe Keys will attempt the conversion attempt from right out on this main stand side. Bev McCavan says, get in, George. Paul Crossley, great try. Steve Proud, great try. And Daniel Newman. What the Bulls need is Ross Peltier out on the field.
I'd love to be out there, you know. I always want to play every minute of every game, but, you know, it's squad rotation. We've got strength in depth. You know, I've had a bit of a niggly injury. We've got Steve putting in a absolutely massive shift. You know, there's only 6 minutes left and he's still on pitch, you know, so it's been a massive effort from Steve and boys today.
Joe Keys finding his radar, not a breath of wind affecting that one, and that one sails between the paws. 22 points to 6, 3 from 4 attempts. And George Flanagan, an immediate impact. First try this afternoon, his third of the season. And that has got Pauline Waite, Steve Haywood and Brian Clarkson getting a little bit excited in the live comments. Johnson on the restart, brought down in a two-man tackle, led there by Morley Samuels and also Gray. They'll set their defensive stall up on the Bradford 30s. It goes from Flanagan to Bustin. Bustin once again, over 10 metres per carry. We work it out. Quick play the ball. Bradford looking to take the ascendancy to Coventry here, but it's a forward flat pass. Flanagan to Steve Crossley. It is a 7th error in this first half. And Ross, I think when you're going to try and put a reflection on what's happened in this first half, yes, they've scored 4 tries, a couple of pearlers from Johnson, from Flanagan, also Gibson, but, you know, 7 errors, John Kay won't be happy.
Yeah, especially after what we spoke about this week, so I can imagine the air dryer is going to be coming out at half-time.
Well, as we said, 4 minutes to go to half-time, and Coventry trailing 22 points to 6, but Tom Sang's side making Bradford work overtime for points this afternoon. Lewis Lord out of dummy half is going to find Ben Steed, and Ben Steed's going to be wrapped up on the third tackle by Crossley and Busting. Out of dummy half again, down the middle channel, that is James Gertons, and James Gertons is wrapped up just shy of the Bradford 25. Once again, centre of the field. Was there a little error at dummy half? Lewis Lord is going to give it there to Lloyd Jones, the Jamaican international, and Lloyd Jones is wrapped up on the fifth and last tackle. 20 out. Ben Steed straight down the front there of Dane Chisholm. Chisholm was looking for the line break, but he'll get the quick play the ball in. Pickersgill trying to win a penalty for his side, attacking the Coventry markers. It's a very slow pedestrian ruck, and at long last Billy Pearson has had enough, and he'll give Bradford their fourth penalty of the afternoon for laying on into the ruck. A chance now for the Bulls, Ross. They're going to have a full set in the Coventry half just before half time.
Yeah, it'll be a set for us, you know, just go through it, keep hold up ball, apply some pressure. I don't know if we've got time for a back-to-back set, but you know, hopefully we might get another try, a bit of joy.
Bradford inside the Coventry half. Flanagan to Busting. Busting's brought down just shy of the 20. Left of centre field. Here goes Flanagan, injecting that leadership, that pace. George Flanagan, a hop, a skip, trying to get past the Coventry defenders, and he's brought down 5 out from the line. Hallis to Keys. Keys is going to come back the other way, but he's wrapped up in a 2-man tackle. 2 tackles remaining here. 3.5 minutes remaining on the clock. Chisholm, Peppers one behind, looking for Pickersgill, but Pierce Paul, the former London Broncos Academy man, latches onto that, and he'll avert the danger. And the referee blows the whistle and is going to say Pierce Paul has to go back and play the ball where he was actually tackled. Lloyd in at dummy half. Going to give it to Gertjens. Gertjens is brought down just outside the 20. 2.5 remaining here on the clock. Out of dummy half from Lloyd. And Coventry, well, it's got to be said, Tom Sang, be interested to get his thoughts, but I think he'll be relatively pleased with the application of his side in only restricting the Bradford Bulls to just 4 tries in the first half here at Odsal Stadium. Lloyd to Ben Steed. He's looking for a 40-20, Ben Steed. Pickersgill has to come back. He takes it on the Bradford 15 and is immediately going to meet those blue and navy blue shirted Bears defenders on his own 20. 90 seconds remaining. Keys in at dummy half to Dalton Grant. Grant's going to be brought down in a 3-man tackle and just playing out time, you feel, for the half-time hooter. Although Bradford, with Ethan Ryan, they're going to try and penetrate the Coventry defence out wide over on that left-hand edge, and they're going to attack it again with Chisholm. Chisholm, quick play the ball. Hitchcock's the fullback to beat. Still going shy, Hitchcock's. He has Flanagan in support, couldn't get the pass away, and Hitchcock's is wrapped up and he's laid on in the tackle there as the Coventry fullback Jason Bass and Bradford have a 5th penalty of the afternoon with just a little over a minute remaining. And the call from John Keir is going to be to tap the ball and have a minute inside the Coventry 20. It's going to be tapped there by Flanagan. Flanagan to Hallis. Hallis on tackle number 1. Bradford potentially hunting a 5th try in this first half. Flanagan misses out Busting, finds Chisholm. Chisholm to Keys. Keys to Johnson. Johnson with a swan dive over the Coventry fullback. And poor Jason Bass, he lost his footing in the difficult conditions at Odsal. And it is 26 points to 6 in the 40th minute. The hooter's going to sound any minute. And Liam Johnson goes from strength to strength. 6th try of the season.
Yeah, you know, boys all make a joke about Jono. He eats them lines at 100%, even if it's T&P. But, you know, he does it week in, week out. And another good try for Jono there. Loves the swan dive on the end of it as well.
Just what the Bulls needed, John. That'll give them a bit of an adrenaline rush. They'll have a bit of momentum going into the sheds at half-time. Good
decision there from John not to take the 2A, and it could result in 6 if Keys kicks this. For me, I just think we're having a lot more joy attacking down our right edge, down their left-hand side. We've come down, I think we're 5 tries in now, are we? And we've scored 4 of them down here. which is interesting. But yeah, good support running, great pass from Joe Keys, and Hoot is gone, but hopefully now we'll get the extra 2.
Lee Smith says the scoreline making Bradford look better than they've played. Joe Keys then, the final act of an opening 40 minutes here. Betfred League 1, round 7, Bradford against Coventry, and Keys between the posts, and at half-time here at Odsal, it is the Bradford Bulls 28, Coventry 6, and Ross, how do you see? So that is going to make handling difficult in the second half. It is Bulls Live and proper sport. And Steve Smith says the fans expect promotion, nothing less, and as pain-free as possible, Ross.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing. We all want that, but, you know, there's factors in a game like now. Rain's coming down. That could affect the game, but no, hopefully the boys have got a firing up from John, and we complete, and we put on a good score now.
Well, game back on, game underway. Bradford will play right to left towards the Ruler Lane terracing in the second half, and it will be Dalton Grant who returns the kick-off from Paul Emanuele, and he will take the Bulls just outside their own 20, and immediately George Flanagan makes 20 metres forward. A dangerous collision there, and George Flanagan's gone down on the shoulder, and referee Billy Pearson will halt proceedings. 30 seconds gone at the start of this second half, and a concerning looking injury to George Flanagan, Ross.
Yeah, it was a funny fall, you know. He spun out of a tackle, and I think a man just landed on his head, so he's a tough lad, he's George, so I don't reckon he'll stay down for long. He'll be back playing in a minute.
David Jordan, great coverage, Mick Ross, John, and proper sports. I followed Bradford Northern since 1965. I get to see about 4 games live as I live in Maidstone, but this coverage is fantastic. Well, anyone watching on Facebook Live, don't forget you can share it and get it shared so more people watch. Ronnie Smith just joining us, so too David Payne, and luckily and thankfully George Flanagan back on his feet. And he is in at dummy half as Steve Crossley plays the ball on the halfway line. Keys to Johnson. Johnson on that right-hand edge with the familiar black scrum cap, and he's wrapped up on tackle number 4. An early penalty at the start of the second half. It's gone the way of the Bradford Bulls. The penalty count now is 6-3, so 9 penalties, a low-ish count thus far, to say we've only had 42 minutes of rugby league footy, and Bradford now will really look to hunt that 6th try and hit the 30. Ashley Gibson taps it, shows and goes, wrapped up in a 3-man tackle, exactly on the Coventry 20 in from the main stand side. Flanagan in at dummy half to Busting down the middle, and Callum Busting, a big ferocious challenger there, grappling with a second row forward on the floor, gets the ball away. Flanagan to Chisholm to Pickersgill to Ethan Ryan. A gap just opened up there, and Ethan Ryan's brought down a metre shy of the line. Hitchcock's back to Chisholm along the line to Crossley. Steve Crossley thought about putting more coal on the furnace, on the fire, and heading underneath the sticks, but he's wrapped up 5 shy of the line. It goes to Keys, one-man band, wrapped up there, and that will be tackle number 4, although the referee's now going to say last. So Bradford, last tackle. Flanagan, Chisholm, crossfield kick, looking for Hitchcocks. It's missed everyone bar Ethan Ryan, and Ethan Ryan has somehow landed on his backside and put the ball down in the corner. It is a 6th try of the afternoon for the Bradford Bulls. Chisholm, the architect, crossfield kick. It missed Ryan and Hitchcocks originally, but Ethan Ryan, he's got try number 4 of 2018, and that'll be just the response John Keir ordered.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows what we do when we play simple, get to the end of a set and kick. You know, wingers in this league will come up with mistakes like that. And, you know, it's just all coming from us playing simple and building pressure.
5 tries to 1. And John Keys, you know, after a fairly average first 40 minutes, it must be said, Bradford will be looking now to have that momentum and run on.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great start to the second half, this obviously, and John's obviously had a few words at half-time. But for me, I just think we don't need to panic. You know, there's 38 minutes left here, and 38 minutes is a long time. And we just need to make the most use of the football when we've got it and not try to play too hard, if you like.
Joe Keys lining up the conversion. The drizzle just coming from the clouds. There's a slight breath of air that's floating across the face of the post. Joe Keys is just going to slice that left hand upright. It's waved away. It looked to be curling in, Jonathan Thurston-esque, Frostbert. It's waved away. The score remains 32 points to 6 on Bulls Live and Proper Sport.
Yeah, unlucky there with the conversion. Just pulled it. I think he slipped a little bit there when he kicked it and pulled it to the left of the post. But again, I know we say this every week, but it's about what we do next, isn't it, here? We need now to get up the other end of the field for me now and get another quick score.
Well, as we've already seen in the first half, the Coventry Bears do have the potential to be a force in League One. They certainly made it difficult, although the lead has further extended. It's gone out to 26, and it's 32-6 here at Odsal. 6 tries to 1. Hallison in at dummy half to Flanagan to Bustin. Bustin brought down in a 2-man tackle, 15 shy of halfway. Don't forget the Women's Super League fixture live on Proper Sports and Bulls Live straight after the conclusion of Bradford Coventry. Crossley once again. He's got to be a shoo-in for potentially the Man of the Match award, the amount of work and effort he's gone through. And here's another contender, Callum Bustin. They're laying that attacking platform for Keys and Chisholm, and the last tackle has seen the Bulls go 70 metres on the restart. Keys will kick towards Ashley Gibson and Dalton Grant, and I think we've got to give a huge round of applause there for Hayden Freeman, the Coventry ringer, over on that left-hand edge. That was a great tech under the darkening clouds and the rain, Ross.
Yeah, great catch from him, you know, good set from us, you know. Let's keep him in there 40, build pressure on him again, you know. They're struggling to come out of yardage now, and that's all we need to do. Just keep them in there 40, defend well, you know, the game will become a lot easier.
Coventry trapped just outside their own 20. Crossley, Laithwaite in defence. As Ross has said on previous interviews, the Bulls, they try to restrict the opposition to just 2 tries, and so far in 2018 they have done just that. Coventry have got 1 in the first half, and they'll be hoping that stays that. Kick straight down the front to Jai Hitchcocks, played in the grand final. Defeat for Castleford against Leeds last October after that great season that Castleford had under Darryl Powell. Keys in at dummy half. It's going to go to Gibson. Ashley Gibson rolling back the ears. And he's going to come back down this left-hand edge. And he's brought down on the Bradford 40. Turning the tackle. Flanagan to Hallis. Hallis like a bumper car. Beep, beep, get out of my way. Brought down on the 30. To the left, to the right. They're going to go towards our gantry position side as Callum Bustin tucks the ball in, and he's wrapped up there just shy of the Coventry 20 on the 4th tackle. Here goes Flanagan down the middle. George Flanagan thought about the support to Pickersgill. Keeps onto the ball, and he'll take the tackle. Last tackle. 8 out from the line. Keys, crossfield kick, looking for Dalton Grant. He just put a little bit too much on it. Did Joe Keys. Dalton Grant didn't time his run, and with 32 minutes remaining, the scoreboard remains Bulls 32, Coventry Bears 6.
I think we should be running the ball there, if I'm honest. It's nice when it comes off, but you know, as Ross said, Coventry are struggling to come out of their own end anyway, so I'd like to see us running and turning the ball over on their line.
Samuels out of dummy half. It's a deadly hush that's descending on Odsal at the start of this second half. The crowd are almost waiting and expecting a procession of points. Here goes Lloyd Jones. Brought down by Johnson and Bustin. Ben Steed to Cam Pierce-Paul, and Pierce-Paul wrapped up there by Laithwaite. Hallison, Bustin. 4th tackle gone for the Bears, and out of dummy half from Lord. It's going to go there to Lloyd Jones, and Lloyd Jones is going to be brought down 30 metres out from the Bradford line as the kick comes in from Ben Steed. Pickersgill takes it there. Great tech, Ross.
Yeah, good tech from Pickers, you know. Kept his foot in there. We did well to keep him where they did on the 7 tackle set. Now it's time for us, you know, just get him back down that end of pitch, kick him long.
Bradford awarded penalty number 7. Not just laying it on there. And I think the Bull supporters, Ross, have just realised that you're with me up here on the gantry.
Yeah, I love it in that song, you know. It gets me out of bed in the morning, that song.
Oh dear. Bradford leading the penalty count, 7 penalties to 3. Tapped there by Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan brought down on the Coventry 40. Flanagan goes in at dummy half. He's going to come on short side. Finds Chisholm. Chisholm along the line to Leithwaite. Ooh, Leithwaite there. Body checked and brought down by Piers Paul. Quite a few double barrel surnames in this Coventry Bears side this afternoon. Hallis wrapped up. 25 out. Centre of the field. Chisholm along the line. Lateral. Keys. Pickersgill. Gibson. Dalton Grant in at the corner. Twist and turned in the tackle. Held up. Wow. Great defence. Jason Bass. Hayden Freeman. Good scrambling D there, Ross.
Yeah, credit to them boys there. I thought they were nailed on try. Dalton's a big, strong lad as well. To hold him up like that, you know, it's great effort from them.
So Dalton Grant will go back to the 10. And he will play the ball a metre in from the main stand side. To Keys, to Chisholm, Chisholm, a la Aussie rules to Jai Hitchcox. Hitchcox takes the ball like a greedy child, collecting the sweets under the pinata, and the Bulls have a 6th try, make that a 7th try. It is 36 points to 6, Ross.
Yeah, like I said, it's all about getting to the end of his sets. Get to the end of his sets, kick well. We'll probably get some on the end of it like then, you know. I think we've seen John's made the switch. He's put Ethan to centre and down the wing. It looks to have paid off there.
And we're seeing Jai Hitchcox doing what Jai Hitchcox can do.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about his quality, didn't we, before the game? Great chip there. But for me, I'd like to see more of that running that we just did on the other side where Dalton got held up. Obviously, Coventry are going to Tyre, and quite a lot of the Bradford boys are training 3 or 4 times a week. So I'd really like to see us run the ball and run over them.
Jai Hitchcock's 2nd try on debut. Lee Smith, Bob Myers, Anthony Todd, Barbara Batten. Great try. Lee Hay, brilliant Bulls. And Jai Hitchcock really did latch on to that crossfield kick from Dane Chisholm, who was looking to expose Cam Pierce-Paul and Harry Chapman over on this main stand side. Joe Keys then to add on the extra 2. 10 in from the gantry stand side. The kick's coming in, but it's gone across the face. So 4 from 7 attempts, 36 points to 6. Bulls live, proper sport. We've still got 29 minutes remaining. Are we about to see the floodlights open? Floodlights? The floodlights will be on later, but the floodgates, I meant to say.
Do you know what I'm impressed with? I'm impressed that Steve Crossley's still going. That is some sting, you know. Yeah, he hadn't had a break yet, and you know, I know him well. He'd be begging for a rest right now, because I know I would be. It's some great effort from him.
If Steve Crossley was a Thomas the Tank Engine character, he won't be Thomas or Percy. I think he'd be Gordon, that blue one that, you know, literally pulls all the coaches.
Could be Fat Controller too, but
Bradford have come up with an error on the restart. Steve Crossley, cover your ears. You didn't hear that from Ross. Bradford have got to defend now. They lead 36 points to 6. Coventry, though, looking for a 2nd try. Ben Steed shows, promotes the ball, gives it there to the 2nd row forward, Mason. Mason brought down in a 2-man tackle. Chisholm leading that defensive line. Good line speed from the Bulls once again. Hallis in there and Crossley, and here he is. Big Gordon, and Crossley brings him down 10 shy of the Bulls line. Ben Steed looks to his options, finds his half-back partnership in crime, Emanuele, and Emanuele's wrapped up on the fourth. Kick comes in, chance for Coventry, Chisholm has it, and he's made it out of his own in goal area. Great play there from Dane Chisholm. Referee says held, it won't be a goal line dropout, and Bradford will now do the hard yards forward, and this is where Steve Crossley and Callum Bustin, when you've got players of that calibre in your side, and also Sam Hallis, really enthusiastic, energetic, they want to do the hard yards forward. And once again, Ross, Bulls scoring some decent tries in difficult conditions. The rain's still coming down here, but they're also defending magnificently well. And I think if you're going to take any positives, you've got to say the defence at the minute is outshining the attack.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing, defensively. We're always going to stand up, we're always going to show up. That's one of our main things, you know, limit teams. But I think John will be disappointed as well. Another error from a kick-off, you know. We've had a few of them this season. We need to clean it up, really.
Steve Smith says, I don't know about Thomas the Tank Engine. Steve Crossley more like a machine. Barbara Batten says, top tackling, boys. So, we've had 14 minutes gone of the second half. It was 28-6 at half-time, and we've seen 2 tries from Ryan and Hitchcock's, and that have further extended the Bulls' lead by 8. And Bradford, they've conceded only their 4th penalty of the afternoon for a dangerous tip in the tackle, lifting above the horizontal, and Bedsteed's going to find touch deep inside the Bradford half. And just, Ross, for a player's point of view, when you're having to defend regularly now like Bradford are, how much does it take out of the tank?
I think how we are, you know, John meant to do a lot of goal line D, a lot of like 10, 12 tackles on the bounce, so we're used to this. I think that showed up against Oldham. I think it was like 20 tackles we did up online. It's not going to phase the boys, this goal line D. It'd just be like training, really.
James Laithwaite and Hallis there in that 2-man tackle. Out of dummy half there from Lewis Lloyd to Joel Thomas. Thomas is brought down. Crossley and Johnson. Quick play the ball. Coventry, a chance out wide if they can get the ball there. But Mason is wrapped up there by George Flanagan and James Laithwaite. On debut, remember. Ben Steed to camp Pierce Paul. Pierce Paul's dropped the ball cold of the line. Chance gone begging. Will go back to the Bradford 10 for a scrum. Head and feed to the Bulls. 25 minutes remaining here at Odsal, John.
Yeah, weather's turned a bit as well as it now, driving rain. Just going back to a couple of points from earlier, we missed a couple of conversions there. The second one I thought we should have got. And again, we keep saying these things are really important. Bradford are defending well. But for me, as I said 10 minutes ago, we've got to keep running the ball. If we run the ball, these lads are not going to live with us fitness-wise. And I want to see more of that now in the last 20 minutes.
Well, it's worth mentioning while there's just a bit of a lulling play that the Bradford Bulls making history this afternoon. This, of course, the curtain raiser to the main game, which will be Bradford against Leeds, the first opening fixture of the new Women's Super League system. As Dolan Grant has ball in hand, just out of dummy half, wrapped up 15 shy of the halfway line. Flanagan down the middle. Steve Crossley on his knees, attracting 3, make that 4 Coventry Bear defenders. Quick play the ball. Kirk back out there for the second half, and he will be brought down 5 inside the Coventry half. On the last tackle, Flanagan to Chisholm. Chisholm's going to put it to the air. It's going to bounce in the in-goal area. Unkind bounce for the Bulls, but a kind bounce there for Jason Bass, who was happy to let that one bounce the right way. They'll have a 7-tackle set on the 20, and I think the conditions now, Ross, probably going to affect this game, and more importantly, probably the women's game later.
Yeah, you know, I've seen a few boys slipping out there. It's not going to be too good for women. I hope they've got the long studs on. But yeah, I think handling's going to be a bit of an issue now. I think it's going to be up the jumper stuff, see the game out. Hopefully we can get a few good tries though.
Coventry 30 out from their own line in centre of field. Jason Bass can't get past Steve Crossley, and Steve Crossley I think is going to be definitely top of the list in the man of the match negotiations. As a flat looking pass ignored by the officials. Richard Hughes plays the ball. Lewis Lloyd Back to Ben Steed. Ben Steed looks for a 40-20. He's got a 40-20. There's life yet in the Coventry Bears. They've turned the Bulls around, and the Bulls, they'll have to scramble back on their own goal line, and they've got a bit of defending to do. The referee will stop the clock because the ball is out of play, and that will allow the Bulls a crucial couple of seconds to set their defensive line up. And the referee now just going to blow time back on, making sure Coventry tap it in the correct spot, and Coventry hunting their second try. Prop forward, Chris Vitellini, wrapped up. Quick play of the ball. Lewis Lloyd is going to find Stead. Stead along the line to Bass. Bass out wide to Chapman. Chapman scored a try. A spectacular effort, it must be said, after the Bulls let the ball bounce in the first half, and he's wrapped up by Chizzy. 15 out from the Bradford line. They're going to front up down the middle as Lewis Lloyd gives it there to Joel Thomas, and Thomas is brought down in a two-man tackle led there by Kirk and Flanagan. Kick comes in, chance out wide. Brandon Pickersgill taking no danger, safety first, and it's a second goal line drop out that Coventry have forced the Bulls. Repeat set coming up here, John.
Yeah, interesting enough, the last set Bradford had, I think we just kicked the ball away, and I know the conditions have a lot to do with it, but Coventry have kicked a 40-20 and then got a repeat set, and that's what we need to be doing ending our sets. Kicking possession away in a game like this, to me, is one of the worst things you can do. So I just think we need to get our focus back on a little bit, and there comes off Gordon himself walking down the touchline after a great, was he played 50 minutes, has he? Fantastic.
Steve Crossley leaves the field, a big grin on his face. Elliot Minchella, his first taste of action as John Keir makes his fifth interchange of the afternoon. As we said, it's wet, dreary conditions here at Odsal, and you know what? It could be 20 degrees and scorching heat in Pudsey, but it'd still snow and rain here at Odsal, such as its own microclimate. As Coventry move the ball over on that left-hand edge, loose forward. Benjamin Gray finding Ben Steed, and Ben Steed's going to be wrapped up. Quick play of the ball. They're going to try and come down the middle. It's Richard Hughes. Hughes wrapped up there by Minchella, and Kirk in a two-man tackle. Two tackles remaining for the Bears here. Bradford defending well, not giving an inch, and what a tackle that was. James Laithwaite there on prop forward. Chris Vitellini, he'll feel that one in the morning. Crossfield kick for Dalton Grant. Dalton Grant takes it. Dalton Grant pushed back in towards his own try line. John thought he was taken out on the air, but the referee said it was legal, and Ash Gibson on that right-hand edge. Bradford deep inside their own half as we approach the hour mark here at Odsal. 8-0 to Bradford in the opening 19 minutes of the second half. So Coventry playing really, really well, making it difficult for the Bulls.
Yeah, showing some steel, these boys out here. I mean, they're fronting up. They've had a good second half of Coventry. It's time for us, you know, just do hard yards and yardage, kick long. Let's get this field possession back.
36-6. Chisholm plays the ball, 20 shy of halfway. Hitchcocks to Keys. Keys finds space, but Jason Bass will be the first to react. And there's an error there. Scrum, head and feet to the Bulls, although the referee is going to say Jason Bass. After coming up with the error, Hayden Freeman was in front. Bradford awarded their 8th penalty for accidental offside. And with exactly an hour gone here at Odsal, 20 minutes remaining, Bradford will look to hunt an 8th try here, you feel?
Yeah, I taught Joe that kick, by the way, there, just to get someone to knock on 60 metres away. Yeah, Bradford need another score here, don't they? I think if we get one more, Coventry's resistance might break down a bit more.
Steve Proud says, proper kick, a proper tackle. Chisholm, Laithwaite wrapped up 5 shy of the line. Bradford inside the 10. Flanagan twisted and turning. Can he get the ball down? Held up is the call by the touch judge. And Billy Pearson, the referee, agrees. Back the Bulls will go to the 10. The pressure continues. 18 minutes remaining here at Odsal. 36 points to 6, 7 tries to 1. Johnson, Gibson, a brace from Hitchcock, Flanagan and Ryan. Chisholm to Hallis. Hallis down the middle in the rain and mud at Odsal. Flanagan misses out Minchella, finds Chisholm. Chisholm to Keys. Keys along the line to Gibson. Gibson still going, twisting and turning, and he's brought down a metre shy on the 5th and last. Out of dummy half to Keys. Crossfield kick. Palm backwards by the Bears. Can Hallis get it down? It's pinball, and it's another penalty to the Bulls. Another accidental offside decision. 9-4, the penalty count now. And John Keir won't be sending the kicking tee out. Just looking at his body language in the South Bank stand, and yeah, he's got the, how do you call it, Ross? The rollover motion. He's saying go for 4.
Yeah, just keep going. I think that's what we need to do. Coventry boys are looking tired. Just keep rolling. I reckon we'll probably get to try this next set.
George Flanagan, ball in hand, just talking to referee Billy Pearson, just waiting for Coventry to bring on the interchange players. Taps it, gives it to Hallis. Hallis was agonisingly close there to scoring Bradford's 8th try, just couldn't get the ball down. Flanagan to Chisholm. Dane Chisholm towards the line like a second row forward, and Chisholm's wrapped up inches away from that Coventry Bears chalk. Flanagan out wide to Keys to Gibson. Gibson's pass was intended to Grant, and Coventry have palmed the ball towards the Bulls line. Keys is playing on, no advantage. Referee stops the clock. Scrum, head and feet to the Bradford Bulls. You almost feel, Ross, that it's delaying the inevitable with 17 minutes remaining.
Yeah, you know, it's just time for us to put right some of the stuff we messed up in the second half, you know, just complete again, just build pressure on them, score another try, you know, kick them long. It's just time to just, you know, play simple rugby in this weather and just get the basics right and, you know, just put the game to bed.
Scrum, head and feed then to the Bradford Bulls. Ethan Ryan just watching on, a lone figure, as the referee has stopped the clock because Dane Chisholm's just getting a little bit of attention to the right knee, little bit of cramp we suspect, and Chisholm back to his feet. Coventry, must be said, similar to Hunslet and Oldham when they come here. These League One sides are rarely arriving at Odsal and playing season's best. So just waiting for the clock to resume. 16 and a half minutes remaining. Time back on. Chisholm to Pickersgill. Pickersgill not scored a try yet in season 2018. Deputising for Greg McNally. Gets to his feet, plays the ball. It's going to be Flanagan to Kirk. Kirk's brought down in a two-man tackle, and Dane Chisholm leaves the field for George Milton. It goes to Flanagan, to Minchella. Elliot Minchella wrapped up, and Minchella will play the ball. 15 to the right-hand side of the uprights, 5 away from the line. Bullock pass from Flanagan to Keys. Keys was trying to pierce that Coventry Bears defensive line. 4th tackle gone, last tackle remaining. Flanagan underneath the sticks with a show and go, and it is an 8th try for the Bulls. It is 40 points to 6, Ross Peltier. Much, much better.
Yeah, much better. It shows what happens when we just complete, keep ball in their half. You know, George again with his signature show and go. I don't think there's any way to defend it, but yeah, it's looking better. I think when rain's come, it's made us want to play more simple and, you know, do the basics right, and that's how it should go.
Well, your score prediction, Ross, at the start, 52-6. It's slowly coming into view, and it could be true. You might regret not putting a fiver on it.
Well, I did tell Joe not to kick all the goals, so Ross didn't win our own bet, Mick, to be honest. But you know what? They've just completed a couple of sets in a row there. That's all Coventry did just 10 minutes ago, and we, you know, fair enough, we defended it. But say it week after week, mate. Go through the process, and the points are going to come because teams can't cope with the ability that we've got going forward. How long's left now, Mick? 10, 15 minutes?
15 minutes remaining. Brian Clarkson says that fooled them. Ian Oddy. Nice one, gorgeous. That goes back to his debut game at Keighley when he scored 2 tries. And George Flanagan, as we said, a signing after the season started. He's now got 4 tries under the John Keir era. And Joe Keys from bang in front. This should be an extra 2 points. And it should be the Bradford Bulls 42, Coventry Bears 6, Bulls Life Proper Sport, which it is. And the clock says 14 remaining. And Ross, what will the Bulls be looking for in the final 14 minutes? Because is this where you start building a bit of momentum and thinking about next week and that game against Warrington?
Yeah, I just think we need to start building this completion, you know, kicking long, playing the territory game. That's what we need to do, really. And I think that's what we want to end this half with.
Joe Keys.
Diane Manson watching from Mallorca. I'm sure the weather a lot more favourable than here at Odsal, but a big crowd here and still people coming in. Don't forget the Women's Super League season opener between the Bulls and the Rhinos. A famous rivalry reignited. And that will be kicking off straight after we've finished with the curtain raiser. The Bulls and the Bears. And currently, the Bulls beating the Bears by 42 points to 6. Flanagan to Minchella. Minchella to Hallas. Hallas brought down 20 shy of the halfway line on his own 30. Going to come on this narrow stand side. Laithwaite. Laithwaite wrapped up on the 4th. Flanagan, Minchella to Milton. Milton's going to be wrapped up. Referee Billy Pearson says he's not brought down, so Milton can make an extra metre forward. This will be the 5th and last. Flanagan to Keys. Keys takes to the clouds. It's going to come down for the fullback. Jason Bass has already come up with an error earlier, but he takes that one, so credit to the lad. And 42 points to 6, 13 minutes remaining, and Hallas and Minchella are going to be penalised for a push. Penalty count now is 9-5, 14 penalties from the referee Billy Pearson this afternoon, Ross.
Yeah, you know, it's just another penalty that we didn't need to give away. You know, we just need to come down, but boys will defend it well. But just giving Coventry another sniff of field position again.
Chris Main loving the coverage. Ian Oddie, just keep pressure on, go through the sets. Good practice for next week. Proper Sport, Bulls Live, Mick Gledall, Ross Peltier and John Keys calling this round 7 action. And thus far, it has been so good for the Bulls. 8 tries to 1 as Coventry over on that left-hand edge. Dante Morley Samuels wrapped up, 30 out from the Bradford line as ball in hand from Emanuele. We'll see the front row forward, Joel Thomas, wrapped up by Johnson and Milton in a 2-man tackle. 4th tackle coming up for the Bears. Ben Steed kicks behind the Bulls' defensive line. Ethan Ryan catches a stray arm, but the referee says shoulder first, and Ethan Ryan will be brought down on his own 20. Are the Bulls going to go the distance here with Hitchcox? Hitchcox sucks in the defence, finds Grant. Grant goes through a gap. Here goes Dalton. Grant looks for support. Couldn't give the ball to Keys. He was wrapped up there by the front row forward, Joel Thomas. If Grant had got that to Keys, Keys is underneath the sticks. Good night as it goes now to Laithwaite. Laithwaite, 24 years of age, former Warrington Wolves pedigree, and he's going to be brought down just shy of the halfway as Flanagan once again marshalling the Bulls offence to Hitchcox. Hitchcox gets to his feet, plays the ball back across the face of the post to Flanagan, and Flanagan will give it to Milton. Last tackle, says referee Billy Pearson. It goes to Keys. Keys floats it out to Grant. Grant steps in one, still going. It's the power play, and Dalton Grant has lost the ball. First knock on from the Bulls. It will be a turnover. 42 points to 6. The score remains 10 minutes exactly remaining on the clock, Ross.
Yeah, I think these Coventry middles are looking a bit out on the feet now. They're falling away from it. You know, it was a good choice to run it. We had numbers, but, you know, the execution again. But, yeah, I think we might get a bit of joy now because Coventry side are looking very tired.
Vicky and Jim watching in Gibraltar. They couldn't cope otherwise, so they're enjoying their Bulls Live Proper Sport fix here at a rainy Odsal Stadium. Dane Chisholm, of course, left the field with what looked to be a bit of a ankle injury, a bit of cramp. So John Keir obviously taking him off as a precaution. He'll have next week to sit in the stands because of the ban. But hopefully, when we speak to John Keir after the match, it's nothing too serious, and Dane Chisholm will be fit and ready for that massive game 2 weeks today at the Keepmoat Stadium, Doncaster against the Bulls. And Doncaster, as we said, pre-match currently top of the table. Ethan Ryan, he's taken the ball from his own in-goal area, gives it to Jai Hitchcox. Hitchcox still going forward, and Hitchcox is wrapped up on his own 45. Can the Bulls do something special in the closing embers of this one? Milton is brought down on tackle number 3. 5 inside the Coventry half. It goes out to Joe Keys. Keys on the diagonal. Here goes Joe Keys. He beats the fullback. Joe Keys into the corner. It's a 9th try, and it's 46 points to 6. That was like a knife through hot butter.
He's nearly as quick as me and Mick, isn't he? Ross, there you go.
Yeah, you know, it was a good try there. Like we said, Coventry looking very tired after Ethan's half break. They just weren't adjusting, they weren't working round. We had numbers on him, and you know, Keezy showed his pace there, go under.
Joe Keys with one of the standout tries this afternoon, and that has got everybody excited. Bob Mayers, try of the game. Nick Lockyer, beautiful stuff. Brian Jowett, good try. Proper sport of tweeting off, commenting. Keys, brilliant try, says Sue Ballard. And Joe Keys, his first try of the season, and it will be a kick from out wide.
Yeah, I think, you know, we've seen these Coventry, they're paying for all the effort they put in early on. I think a lot of them boys are just dying out now, looking very tired, so I wouldn't be surprised if a few more tries don't come through in this last 7 minutes.
You didn't let me finish, John. First try of the season at Odsal.
Sorry, Nick.
He did, of course, score at Keighley. You scored at Keighley as well, Ross. You enjoyed that one.
Oh, yeah, I had to get over the line there, didn't I? I enjoyed that one a lot.
Joe Keys then, 5 metres in from the main stand side. 7 minutes on the clock. Will Ross Peltier's score prediction come true? Keys with a right boot, and it's gone once again to the right. So 46-6 it remains. And Ross, yeah, should the Bulls score a converted try, it will finish 52-6. So I'll be asking you for the lottery numbers.
Not the way he's kicking you, right?
No, I'm on about when it comes to stuff like this, you know what I mean, Mick, so.
Yeah, Mother Shipton, Mystic Meg. Nah, Ross Peltier, that's where it's at. Bullman and Bullboy play fighting over on the main stand, getting the kiddies excited. Susan Bethel, loving proper sport, thanks. Simon Thompson, great coverage, proper sport. The restart, gone backwards from young Brandon Pick. And let's not forget, a large percentage and a large nucleus of this Bulls side. There are only 20-21, and that extends from like Ethan Ryan, Pickersgill, Joe Keys, Liam Kirk, Vila Halafihi, all young players. As the Bulls with Milton, can he go? It's going to be Elliot Mitchella. Mitchella's going to go. Run, Elliot, run! And Elliot Mitchella, try number 10 for the season. The Bulls, they've gone back to back from the restart.
Yeah, that's what this game's been about, hasn't it? And, you know, great effort there from Elliot, great push. And for me, probably one of the tries of the day. In the last 5 minutes, we seem to have come alive, as Coventry get a bit tighter.
The Bulls have the half century up, 50 points to 6. Elliot Mitchella, 60 metres on the fly.
I think I seen the last 5 minutes of that because I had to nip to the toilet.
Someone's asking if you support Arsenal, Ross.
No, I'm a massive Arsenal fan.
They've lost 2-1 at Newcastle.
You know what it is, it's one of them days, isn't it?
It's all right supporting them, mate. You want to try working there when they do lose. That's even worse.
Joe. Yeah, I forget, John, you work at Arsenal during the week.
I might be teaching someone to kick goals this week, I think.
Joe Keys. This to make Ross's prediction become a reality. 4 minutes remaining, 50 points to 6. It's there, you know. Bulls Live proper sport. Bradford Bulls 52, Coventry Bears 6. 76 minutes gone here at Odsal. Michella, great support play on the inside to take the ball from George Milton. 6 from 10 from Keys. And that is Bradford's 10th try. And it is 52 points to 6. Paul Bryan says, Ross, can I have next week's lottery numbers, please?
No, I've just sent a message down to John to go for a 1-pointer. So don't count your chickens, Ross.
I actually had a winner on national as well yesterday, so you know I'm pretty good at this. If I were allowed to bet on rugby league, I wish I'd have put a fiver on it.
Clare Downs, Ross is going to get his prediction right. Well, there's still 3 minutes to go, and I'm sure the boys out there, they're going to try hard. But let's not forget this great effort from Coventry this afternoon. Although they're on the end of what will look like a heavy defeat, but they really have given 110% out there. And they've really made life hard for the Bulls, and the Bulls have had to go through quite a few defensive sets. Halafihi to Laithwaite, Laithwaite back on the inside to Halafihi to Hallis, Hallis to Pickersgill. Is Michella in again? Here goes Michella. Michella brought down by Campius Paul. Quick play the ball. The danger not over. Oh, the offload from Halafihi has been picked up by Campius Paul. And the try and the chance of further points for the Bulls has gone begging. 2 minutes remain. 52 points to 6. And it's looking like that is gonna be how she wrote. Don't forget, coming up in less than 5 minutes time on conclusion of this League One fixture, the Bulls first team, they will form a guard of honour, and out will come side by side the Bradford Bulls women's team and the Leeds Rhinos women's team. Charge down from Emanuele. Coventry have the ball back, and it's picked up there by Emanuele, so great read there. Callum Bustin just got in the way. Final 90 seconds here at Odsal Stadium. Ball goes out from Lloyd to James Mason. Mason wrapped up to Hughes. Back down the middle with Lloyd Jones. Lloyd Jones is wrapped up. 60 seconds remaining. It's looking like it's going to come true, Ross. We'll have to start calling you Mystic Pelts, or we'll come up with some name for you. But certainly, the Bulls, they're all up and back off the ropes after that first defeat of the season last weekend against Workington Town. They'll go back to the top of the table momentarily until the result comes in from Doncaster and York. And Ethan Ryan now is going to be brought down just shy of the 20. Wrestling there with his number 2, Chapman. Quick play the ball. Here goes Hitchcock's. 30 seconds remaining here for the Bulls. And they're 20 shy of the halfway line. Halafihi to Grant. Here goes Dalton Grant. Grant's going to be brought down 5 shy of halfway. Final play of the game, we feel. 10 seconds remaining. It goes from Halafihi to Keys. Keys, can he get a quick play of the ball in? The hooter's going to sound any second. They've got it in. Here goes Halafihi to Bustin. Bustin, can he find the support of Pickersgill? No, he can't. Full time here at Odsal Stadium. Ross Peltier predicted 52.